Before tanks, before drones, there was silence after the clash of iron. Not victory, not glory, only the sound of labored breathing, and men once called gods of war, crawling through dust and blood. They were Rome's forgotten ones, the soldiers who survived what no man should. For centuries, the Roman legion was the most feared engine of war on earth. Its soldiers, flesh forged into steel, will harden by oath. But beneath the polished armor and the glimmering standards beat human hearts. Hearts that cracked under weight the Senate would never see. Every boy who joined the legion was stripped of his name and reborn a weapon. From the first lash of the centurion's vine stick to the last day of training, pain was purpose. They were told, Roma Eternum. Rome is eternal. But eternity had a cruel price. Imagine the training fields of Capua, the smell of sweat and dust, the sound of wood striking flesh. Here a soldier learned not to scream, even when bones cracked. Discipline was survival. Emotion was weakness. The legionnaire's soul was buried long before his death. Then came the real test. Germania, Parthia, Britannia. Lands soaked in mud and blood. They fought men they couldn't understand, in places the Senate would forget. When the horns called, they didn't charge for glory. They charged because silence meant death. When battle ended, the field still moved. Not from the living, but the dying. A soldier's wounds were not medals. They were memories carved in flesh. He was carried to the rear, if he was lucky. If not, the crows became his mourners. Those who survived limped back to camps, faceless, forgotten. Some lost limbs. Others lost their minds. Rome had no word for trauma. A man who screamed at night was simply weak. So they suffered in silence, haunted by the ghosts of comrades left behind. The Medici tried, gods bless them. With bronze scalpels and wine, they cut infection from flesh and hope from eyes. Some lived, many didn't. Those who did often wished they hadn't. Years later, they returned to Rome, or what was left of them did, but the city had moved on. The marble streets no longer knew their names. Their medals rusted. Their stories faded. They were ghosts walking among men who had never seen war. Only one bond remained, the brotherhood of the broken. In taverns and alleys they gathered, not to boast but to remember, the faces of the fallen, the screams in the dark. In their eyes, Rome still burned, not as glory but as grief. As centuries passed, the legions themselves vanished. The empire that built them crumbled from within, but the pain, the sacrifice didn't die. It sank into the soil of every land Rome ever touched. Today, if you walk the old Roman roads, listen. Beneath your feet, the ground remembers. Every footprint, every drop of blood, part of the eternal empire no historian can see. Image prompt 12. Ancient Roman road stretching into fog, ghostly silhouettes of legionnaires fading in distance. Modern armies still march, still train, still break men to rebuild them as soldiers. But the Romans did it first, and they paid the highest price. The discipline, the silence, the loyalty, all born from that ancient suffering. The Roman standard, the golden eagle, still shines in history's memory. But look closer. One wing was always broken. That was the part Rome never wanted you to see. Was it glory or madness? An empire built not by marble, but by men who gave everything and received nothing. Their loyalty outlived their lives. Their silence, louder than any victory cry. Even today, soldiers return from war with the same haunted eyes. Technology changed, but the pain didn't. Rome was only the beginning of a story we're still writing.